Hi, this is Mike from Arturia, and in this video I'll be giving you an overview of the new AnalogLab software. So let's get started by taking a look at the AnalogLab UI. First of all, I'm using it as a plugin in Ableton Live, but you can use it as a standalone instrument as well. So the first thing you'll notice is how easy and how well laid out the software really is. It's very simple to understand. The windows can be resized, the columns can be moved around. It's a very, very easy to work with piece of software. The parameters and fonts are very clear, and you can read them well in light or dark environments. So this library view here is 5,000 sounds from the V collection. These are some of the best presets and some exclusive presets for the AnalogLab from these legacy instruments that you see in our studio view over here. So right now I have this bass sound from the CS80, and you can see that the CS80 is lit up here. If I click on, let's say, a Prophet sound, it highlights the Prophet. If I move over to a modular patch, it lights up my modular V. Now if I click on that instrument in the studio view, it instantly filters that list down to just that instrument. If I click the filter view button, I can further filter down those 5,000 sounds. So say I'm looking for something percussive from the ARP 2600. I just got down to those 42 sounds in a matter of 1 second. And to get back to your original list, you just unclick those. So let's go back. So down here in our controls, we've got a section that allows you to set any parameter with its corresponding control. Now the controls will depend on which controller you have selected in this drop-down menu here. So if I select the KeyLab 49, it'll represent the KeyLab 49 controls. If I select the MiniLab, it'll look like the MiniLab. So let's go back to our default and take a look at the Snapshots tab. These are 10 sounds that I can recall at any time. So if I go ahead and click number 3, it brings me right to a multi that I dragged right down to that snapshot. And a multi is basically a layer or a split. You have these two bars here that you can set up your split with. And if you click layer, it instantly just creates a layer with it. Now if we're in this list here that's selected multi, you can go through all the sounds that ship with the AnalogLab. All these multis were created for the AnalogLab. And let's set it as a layer. And you can mix your sound, pan it a little bit, add some effects to it. Let's put the sub generator on this one, turn up the return value a little bit. Subgenerator adds a nice warmth and bottom end to a sound that sounds a little thin or it's missing something. The control assign section here next to the master allows you to customize your controls per part. So if you just want your pitch bend on the second part, it's very simple to set up. Same thing with your mod wheel, sustain, expression, and the same goes for all your controls down here too. So if I click on this first knob and set that one to cut off from the SEM, and we'll set this one to cut off from the Jupiter 8, you'll be able to hear the two parameters working independently. So the multi-mode really is a powerful sound design tool. In fact, some of the best results come from just randomly grabbing any two sounds within your 5,000 sounds and just dropping them into parts 1 and 2. So now if we move down to our controls again, to the right we have this chords tab. And this is for setting up or playing chords with a single control. So let's go ahead and select the pad, and the top field will represent the key, and the bottom field is the chord. So let's go with a pad from the Prophet. There we go. So the AnalogLab really is a powerful sound design tool. As I was saying, you have the full instrument under the hood here. In fact, if you have the instruments installed on your machine, you can detect them by going to your preferences and having the AnalogLab recognize them. You can then open them up, further edit your sound, and then save them and recall them inside the AnalogLab software. So it ships with all the controllers, plus it's an independent instrument of itself. Now let's move into the live mode. So this is really a performance page. This allows you to set up 128 sounds broken into groups of 16 for different parts of songs or sets. And the first 10 are connected to the snapshots here. But you can take any sound and drag it in here and recall it anytime you want. You can then name it and select a genre for that sound too. So the live mode is really a template for setting up a performance. So the AnalogLab is a great sound design tool, perfect for a live performance. It's great in the studio. It ships with all the Arturia hardware keyboard controllers, and it's available as an individual download as well. So thanks for watching this video on the AnalogLab from Arturia.